Welcome to Hospitality Folks, a podcast about the people behind great hospitality. I'm your host, Alicia Dick Wahlberg. Join me as we talk with hotel teams, managers, and operators about hiring, culture, and what it really takes to build teams that perform at high levels and stay. Hey folks, welcome back. I am so excited to bring back Magnus, who is one of the founders of Nook Society. If you missed the last episode with him where he talked about culture building, make sure to check it out. Today, we're going to do a deep dive with Magnus into what I'm really excited about besides culture is their very special way of fundraising as a community. For anyone who maybe missed the last episode, do you want to maybe just give a quick introduction of yourself and what you guys are building at Nook?
Yes. Hey, great to be back. Thank you so much. The first time was already very exciting for me. I really liked the natural conversation with you and having the opportunity to tell a little bit about Nook and what Nook is. So we are a hospitality concept. We are redefining the leisure hospitality in a way that we call it experience travel. We make it relevant for the generation that will be, from our perspective, economically relevant for the next 20 years. So the people around 30 now being 30, 35, 40 years at core. And well, we serve three waves. We call it experience travel, and we join the well-being megatrend together with the way that people work today, and add a community component to it. So those three we don't just use as marketing words. We put those three waves at the core of our product, and I think that makes us a little bit different, and so far very well received.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last time we talked, you had already had me at bonfires. As a Midwestern at heart, I love the entire concept. And also as a startup founder, I'm very curious about your way of fundraising. Can you tell me and the audience maybe a little bit about how you are fundraising and how it's a bit different than maybe the normal startup?
Yeah, look, I think it's important to get a little bit the context right, because for the past decades, I've been working with a lot of brands in retail, gastronomy, and in hospitality, and helping them to scale. I was working a lot on the real estate side, finding new sites, or consulting landlords on how to attract the right tenant. I always loved working with good, big, strong brands. But now looking back, I've realized that some of those are gone, and they're not gone because the product was wrong, but I believe that they're gone because the financing perspective or the financing setup was wrong. And some of those companies were financed via venture capital, which would be probably private equity, venture capital, probably be the obvious also for us now to go for. But I think that my experience showed me that a working product can be killed by venture capital if the numbers are not met as expected. It doesn't mean that the product or the business is wrong. It's just not meeting those ambitious plans. And those can also be growth plans on a unit economic basis. Businesses work very well, but then they can't scale enough, or and suddenly we kill everything because their expectation to go in and after 5 years leave the business again with, I don't know, whatever 10x, 5x, whatever they want, is not met. And I think now when I look at something like Nook Society, where the business is not about the overnight stay, it's at the human beings around it at core. So it's really building a society. That business, people, when it gets more human, sometimes needs a little bit more time, and it's not that scalable as a financial setup that was built to grow software is there for. So venture capital was built to grow software, and I believe that it's not built to grow human-centric hospitality brands. Long story, sorry.
No, absolutely. And what you're building is very human centric and it's very authentic when you dive into everything you're growing. And one thing that stuck with me last time we talked is how, when I asked you, how are you finding the team? And you said, we don't, they come to us. Because what you're building is so clear and authentic. People want to be a part of that. And it's clearly triggering something because it's once you start looking into what Nook is and who's there, it's very understandable. But I'm curious from an investor standpoint, what's something that's maybe misunderstood, especially even from VCs, about hospitality when it comes to innovation and growth, maybe beyond the human aspect?
Yeah, I think it's from an investor's perspective. I think there is a certain motivation to make money, and that is at the core of every investor. And that's good because it brings power, it brings a certain energy to the table. The team gets motivated in a different level. I mean, I love the energy of venture capital backed team. Yeah, it's something very unique. Like, there's no hours, there's no excuses, there's always moving, there's no yeah, no laid back atmosphere. So that part is amazing. However, lacks at the end, when it's pulled out, it lacks personality. And I'm a very human centric person. I just love human beings. I really like to be surrounded by people in real life. Probably my biggest passion to bring people together. And yeah, there's a disalignment, I think.
Absolutely. Now, maybe for someone who hasn't checked out your website, you could talk about exactly how are you and your team doing this fundraising? How would it work if someone, let's say, was interested? What does that look like?
First of all, we're building the whole company in public. So if you want to check out our business plan, you go on nooksociety.com/invest. It's everything there, all the numbers, all the historic numbers, all the plans, all the vision, all the steps that we've gone through and that we're going to go through, the whole team, everything. So it kind of feels a little bit like being naked
Mhm.
when we put it out there. But I think it's very important also here to show that we are building a company that and we're very open and very sharing about it. So nooksociety.com/invest is where you need to go. And the way what we're doing is basically we have teamed up with a company called Conda Capital from Vienna and created a model that fits our needs. And that's what they're specialized in, to create financing vehicles that support brands where the guests connect far beyond the actual stay with the brand. So it's something. They also finance sports clubs, and Rapid Wien or St. Pauli. So this is the company behind those people and or behind those financial vehicles. And what we have built together is a model that where now people that actually use the product and be part of the Nook Society now can also invest and benefit from our growth and benefit from our profits. That I think is something that even brings the crowd closer together. Those people, we are uniting in the Nook Investor Society, and the Nook Investor Society is then the fundament for a future membership model that we're building around the whole thing. Yeah. So yeah, you are buying tokenized profit share rights, and those profit share rights allow you to participate in our company's development and the growth and the profits. Yeah.
Absolutely love this. One word that kept coming to my mind as you were talking about it is the word transparency. And it's really refreshing how open you are with what you're saying, how transparent you are. And it's clear that's on the other side as well for people looking at social media with this AI, this very set up photos that are happening. We're kind of missing this transparency in the world, this authenticity is the word today. And I think that's absolutely amazing what you are building there together. I'm curious, where did this idea come from to do
Well,
this?
I think when we started the company, the first thing that we did was not thinking about where's the biggest niche in the hospitality market and let's go right in there. The first thing that we did was we wrote down our values, and we explained to ourselves why why we want to do what we're now doing. So and while writing down our values, we made a very clear decision that our company will have to be operated in a way that it leaves a lasting positive connection for our stakeholders, all of course make money, but also for the environment and for the whole society. And I think this is what actually companies are there for. So in order to really be transparent and put everything out there, well, you have to be transparent, right? You have to show it to everybody. And I think also this is a society when people invest there or when people join us and hang out there, everybody's happy to spend money there, and nobody is thinking that somebody is taking something off the side and making money on their good time. No, obviously a company needs to make money in order to exist. That's the purpose of a company. But I think when you create something so human centric, a real society, then it's more creating like I look at it like a sports club. Okay. And I think also in a sports club, first of all, you play fair. Yeah. And then you have to be transparent. People have to understand you and trust you what you're doing. I don't have any problem with it. It feels good, actually.
Yeah, I completely understand. I'm also someone who loves to live by transparency. I think that's a value that is highly sought after by a lot of people. Maybe you can dive in. What are some major questions that you often get when someone's thinking about maybe investing with Nook? What are some of the top questions they usually ask you?
Um, I think one of the first questions is when can I do it? This is really like wow! It's the moment that we talk, that we have the conversation. I've done like some 80 investor talks right now, and the first thing is wow! This is amazing. How can I get in as quick as possible? And then it's very often what is actually the product work? How does a tokenized profit share work? Because it's actually very similar to a standard share that you can buy of any other company. So the more money you invest, the bigger the share in your future earnings. It's proportional to the company valuation. And then we have a very clear calculation of how we calculate the exit of an investor, where we take the 3-year average EBITDA and multiply it with a certain predefined multiplier. So everything is very clear and understandable. What you don't have compared to an existing to the traditional share is a voting right, and you are not in the register of the company. Okay, I think those two things for an investor that buys a small share are not so relevant. First of all, we need to be in the driver's seat, and we want to be in the driver's seat, and we will be in the driver's seat, defining of where this society goes, in what direction, what the business does. And the second thing, we're going to have more and more financing rounds as we grow, and I don't want to go to the notary every time and sign off and have 140 people signing off on our next growth level. I think that will not be very beneficial for the company. So the vehicle is actually perfect for what we want to do. And it's an amazing setup. Working with Conda is beautiful, great in
One
that
thing
sense.
I'm thinking of is it's the first question you get is how fast can we be a part of that? And I think that is every founder's dream.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are some tips maybe you have so other founders can have that same level of success as you?
Well, it kind of works the other way around. I'm speaking to people that are already interested, okay, and so it's the final convincing that I do with them, and then the problem is that it's the people that invest in Nook are people that believe in the product. Okay. They're not necessarily experienced investors. Okay. So yes, it's not so easy. You go on Connor Capital, you have to register there, you have to show your passport, you have to do the KYC, you have to answer certain questions about investments. This is the legal framework that Conda provides and that you just need to fulfill. And that part is a little bit well, it's regulated by EU, and we can't like it's not very different than opening a PayPal account, but it's a little extra step that you need to do. But again, back to the question, how do we get there? So if somebody's already interested or has experienced Nook, well, the connection is very strong with the brand. You see it also in our reviews. You have a 4.9 Google score. Also, we have created something that people actually somehow really do connect with, and I think that comes from authenticity, transparency. And then the next step is and you can invest from 250 euro onwards. So it's not that people are signing tickets here every day. Absolutely not.
I think that makes a huge difference because I've been in all these circles now with angel investors, and especially statistically, women, they invest less because they want to be very purposeful. So when the starting point is 250, that makes it a very accessible investment level for a lot of different people.
Yes. And so first of all, I think to answers. The first thing is I think we have right now about 70% female investors in the company. So that's I'm very happy about it. It's great atmosphere. Then second, I think this is a huge chance to invest in this company now because we have now the proven concept and we are now scaling, right? So with a little investment, you can already participate in something that has already a certain proof of concept in one property. We've now taken over the second property and we're going to grow and roll it out, and they have the team for that ready. So I think it's a perfect moment. Yeah, anything, the average investment is some 1,500 euro, I think, currently. And that makes it a very interesting group of people for the Nook Investor Society. We did not want only people with a lot of money at the bonfire. We do want the right people. So that is why we've opened an investment from 250 euro, because we also want the younger generation, partly students or people that just started their business that don't have the capacity to invest, also to join the society and learn from others that might have already been more successful or more in the money.
Yeah, part of the community over the bonfire. I absolutely love that. Oh, you just have the second location. If someone wanted to experience it on property, where are the two locations located?
The two locations are located outside of Berlin, some 60 kilometers outside of Berlin in Bad Saro. It's about a 1 hour, 15-minute train ride from Berlin Mitte, or 1 hour by car. Bad Saro City is a small town on the beautiful, huge lake, the Scharmützel, and our property is located right on that lake. The second property is some 10 kilometers further away, located in a natural reserve. It's actually the oldest fishery of Brandenburg, the state, that is located there, and we're taking over the guest house. And yeah, this is going to be a location where we host more and more offsites. We have during the week, we fill the rooms with good paying companies when every other hotel is empty. And we've had so many demand for our hotel in Bad Saro is so big that we needed a second place in the neighborhood. And now we're taking over that one. Yeah, it's people can go fishing in the morning with the fisher at 5 a.m. on the lake. There's only 10 boats or something allowed, and those 10 boats belong to our hotel. So nobody else can go there. It's a huge lake. It's the Heinz Sielmann Stiftung, who owns the land around it, so who created this natural reserve. So you have the fish eagle that's only living there, and you can see it. It's beautiful. And then you have Stefan Ziegenhagen, a really cool cook, preparing the fish for you. It's a cool place. Come on.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing.
Thank you. It is.
Final question. If someone wanted to be an investor, but they're not located in Germany, is that okay?
That's absolutely okay. That's not a problem. You go on condacapital.com or you use the link through our website, create an account on Conda Capital, sign up there, and then select Nook Society as your company you want to invest in. Shouldn't be any problem. And if not, reach out to me. No problem.
Wonderful. We'll put your LinkedIn in the description, as well as the link to for anyone interested in investing or if they have any follow-up questions. If you found this episode helpful, follow and subscribe to Hospitality Folks and share this episode with your team.